to Music Moments with Miss Renee. Today we're going to be talking about percussion instruments. Last week, if you remember, we talked about woodwinds. The woodwind instruments made sounds by blowing air through them. Percussion instruments are a little bit different. They create music or noise when something strikes them or hits against something else. You may recognize some percussion instruments, such as a drum. Go ahead and grab a pot or pan, and with Mom's permission, from the kitchen. We can create our own drum today. I've got a metal pot here, and I'm going to use a wooden spoon. I'm going to strike it. And I can even say my name, Miss Renee. How about Naomi? Naomi. It creates a different sound when I use different things. Here's a spoon. Not so different. What if I used maybe a plastic? Let's see if it creates a different sound. You've just created your own percussion instrument, a simple drum. We're also going to be looking at different other kinds of percussion instruments. One you might have known that was in the percussion family. How about this? This bell is from Switzerland. It's usually hung on a cow, and it lets the people know when they're coming down from the high pastures. A bell from Switzerland. Let's listen to the sound that it makes. Is the sound higher or lower? The reason why they're called a percussion instrument again is because something is hitting and making a sound. If you look inside of the bell, there's something called a clapper. There it is. Can you see it hanging right there? That's what creates that sound as it hits and vibrates off of here. At Holy Cross Academy, when you come in, you may see a very tall steeple. Inside that steeple are bells. They're electronic bells, but many churches have bells inside of their steeple that you would pull down a long rope or cord. Somebody would get below it and swing it back and forth, making that clapper move and creating beautiful sounds of a bell. Bells come from all different places. This particular bell came from Korea. When my husband visited there years ago, the bell was as tall as your living room ceiling. He could actually stand inside the bell with the whole family. But again, they take it, and inside this bell, there's no clapper. The clapper is literally on the outside. So some people would take a wooden log, or maybe even a metal beam, but mostly it was wood, and they would pull it back and let it go. That would strike the bell, and it would make a sound. The bigger the bell, the lower the sound. There are all sorts of other percussion instruments. We talked about the drum that we just made, but this is a drum mask. Many cultures would use something like this when they would sing or dance. Some of them would make really pretty carvings. I don't know if you can see this, but can you see the face? What looks like earrings are actually shells. But when I shake it back and forth, those shells actually hit it, creating a drum-like sound. So this is called a hand drum mask. Did you know that rattles are also a percussion instrument? Again, the beads inside this double-handled rattle hits against the shell or whatever somebody chose to make of it and creates a different sound. You spin it, something like that. Well, similar to this is this particular object. It's a marachi, but it's in a little bit different shape. Some people would use maybe a dried gourd, kind of like a pumpkin. Let the seeds dry in it, and they would shake it. They might even paint it. And it's kind of like a baby rattle. But rattles are also part of that percussion family. This is a different kind. This particular one came from actually Mexico. It's a little bit larger, a little bit different shape. Now, if you want to make a shaker or a rattle at home, you can grab that egg that was in your supply box or something else around the house. We're going to do one today. You can actually use rice or beans or something other than that. So what I did is I actually filled my little egg here with some rice. And you don't want to fill it all the way up top because you want room for that rice to move around. I'm going to close my egg here and shake it, and I created a shaker. Again, you can shake your name like, my name is Reese, or my name is Chayton, and create sounds. Depending on what you put inside, it may make a different sound whether you put rice or a penny. If you don't have an egg, no worries. If you have a piece of toilet tissue, an empty toilet tissue roll, you can make also a shaker. I took our little kazoo that we made last week, because it still had a bottom on it, filled it up with some rice. Now you'll need to cover this, but you could use this as a shaker too. But not only is it a shaker, it also can be another instrument. You can make your own rain stick. In the springtime, it does rain, and you can also listen to the sound of rain by slowly turning it from one side to the other like this. Whatever is inside this particular rain stick is hitting up against the wood here and creating that sound as it kind of pours through. You can make your own rain stick by using your shaker and turning it slowly from one side to the next. Or maybe your dad might have a piece of PVC pipe. Look how long this one is. Now I'm going to put this down here, actually, and then I'm going to take a funnel. And I'm going to pour my rice into it. Or again, you can use beads. Again, I don't want to fill it all the way through because if I did, that rice would not have anywhere to go. And I did something I goofed. Do you know what it was? I didn't seal off the bottom, so I'm going to have to be very careful here and use my hand. I'm going to put my other hand on top, but listen. So try yours with maybe different beans, maybe some pennies that might fit in here, or do something as simple as using your Easter eggs and filling them with rice or beans or something else to create a new sound. Before we leave today, there's one more instrument that you can make at home. Make sure you ask your mom for help, and it might be a good idea to do even this one outside because it involves water and pouring. For those of you who are in music class, a while while back, you might remember that we made something called a xylophone. This is a water xylophone. Each of these glasses I have filled with different amounts of water. One is fairly full. This one's kind of medium full. And this one doesn't have much water at all in it. Glass works pretty well, but again, we've got to be careful not to hit these too hard or they'll break. So make sure you ask your mom for a little bit of help. I'm going to take another spoon here. I'm going to gently tap the blue glass. Listen again. This glass doesn't have as much water. It kind of reminds me of the Three Bears. Big, medium, and small. Let's see what kind of sound this makes. This glass has the least amount of water. I wonder if this sound's going to be higher or lower. What's your guess? Ready? Let's see. If you had 8 glasses lined all the way up on your table or outside in your driveway, and you filled them with different amounts of water, you could create music all on your own. Again, we're going to call this as part of the percussion family because it's actually using something to strike or hit something else to create a new sound. Just for fun, let's see what happens when I fill this glass all the way up. You ready? Again, we fill this all the way up. Do you think it's going to make a high sound or a low sound? Guesses in? All right, let's try it. It actually makes the lowest sound of all. So, today, remember percussion instruments. From a drum that you can make out of just about anything, or a rattle, or take a simple egg and get making your own shaker. Or maybe Easter morning you heard the bells of a church nearby, sharing the good news that Christ rose again. Thanks for joining us with Music Moments with Miss Renee. Until next time, bye-bye.